Well, it's unfortunate, but it's inevitable. There's going to be errors with our Python applications. Yes, it's going to happen, folks. What'll happen is perhaps we have an error in the program. We've done something incorrectly, or what's frequently happening, you've probably seen it already, is you're going to get unexpected input from a user of the application. Let's take a look at this and let's begin our discussion of what we call exception handling in Python. So check this out. I've got this simple little, we're going to get a number from our user. Notice we have this input function that we are using, asking them for a number. We're typecasting it to an integer and we're storing that in the my number. Well, sure enough, this can cause problems if the user does something crazy. So let's go ahead and run this thing and let's do something crazy like put my name in. So notice what happens. This throws an exception or error in Python. Now, every single line of this turns out to be valuable information for us as the developer of the app. But for an end user, this is all not going to make any sense. I mean, what'll typically happen is they start reading here at the top and then they quickly bail because, they're like, this isn't making any sense. I don't know what a traceback is. Most recent call last. The error message here for us might make sense. The actual error itself, in kind of plain English, invalid literal for integer with base 10, and then they show the Anthony string. But again, for an end user, that might not make much sense. By the way, I do want to draw your attention to right here. Notice this is a value error. That's the specific type of error or exception that was raised by this problem. Okay, a value error type. We'll talk to you in the next video a lot more about these different types of exceptions that we can have in Python. But right now, we're going to solve this nightmare of a situation where gobbledygook is the technical term, is returned to our end user and freaks them out. We never want that to happen. So let's fix that right now. Watch how easy this is going to be to fix. I'm going to come up here and I am going to issue or create a try block. And now I'm going to indent what we are going to be doing under that try block. That is what we were doing a moment ago, and that's getting a number from our end user. But now what we're going to add to our little application here is also the except block. And this is going to print something much more friendly. You did, or maybe something even like super friendly, please check your input. Okay, so asking the end user, hey, I think you did something wrong. And notice this is only going to execute if there is some type of an error that occurs in the try block. So you gotta love it, the try except syntax that we can use inside of Python. Let's go ahead and save this thing and let's run this thing. And once again, I'll put in my name and nice. No more big, ugly, frightening error for the end user. A more elegant, please check your input. By the way, it's always great to make sure that your program does work, right? So let's go ahead and just run this one more time, giving it a number and ensuring that, okay, yeah, there is no further error that we have to worry about in our application. Notice what I was just doing there, right, was, checking multiple cases. And I know you've been doing this throughout all of your practice and your work in Python, and that's terrific. Keep it up. This is good practice to get into. We want error-free software whenever possible that we create. And notice in this lesson, we saw a nice kind of elegant way we can try things, and if there is any error, handle them with our nice except block. Well, thanks so much. As I promised, in the next lesson, let's learn a bit more about these types of exceptions we can get in Python. And then in the lesson after that, we'll really step it up with the try except capabilities of Python.